Welcome back to Game Over Cancer. We are here all week raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society. We have some bid wars going on. The one in particular I really want to talk about, we have the upcoming Metroid Prime Remaster, or Randomizer, getting that mixed up with our next run. We have the Metroid Prime Randomizer suit bid war. You can choose between the default suit or the fusion suit. And right now, it is deadlocked at $110.01. So we have no idea which suit we're going to be seeing later tonight. If you get those donations in, you can have a say in what we're seeing later. We are now ready for our next run. EODTex is going to be showing us Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 Remastered, any %, no major glitches. And since this is kind of a vampire-y take on vampires, I want to know, chat, who's your favorite vampire? Tell me in your donations, tell me in your comments, but my favorite vampire is Colin Robinson. And on that note, EODTex, tell us about your run.
Hi, I'm EODTex. This is Soul Reaver Remastered. It came out in December. It's originally a PlayStation 1 game. This is the second game in a series of a very phenomenal dark fantasy story. This is my the gameplay of this one is my favorite, so I'm kind of biased. I'm gonna let the intro cutscene play while I'm describing it because the time doesn't start until I skip that. But basically, Kain here is he's the protagonist of the first one. Spoilers. And he rose several lieutenants. We're playing as Raziel, and he gets thrown into the abyss, the Lake of the Dead, for daring to evolve further than Kain. Anyways, he turns into a wraith, and I'll start time coming up in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so now Raziel looks very different than he did in the opening cutscene. That voice you heard just at the start there was the Elder God. He's basically just playing directions, tutorials, and stuff. You'll notice I am jumping a lot. That's about 25% faster than running, so that's basically all I'm gonna be doing for movement. Just going through the tutorials. I got a warp gate there. Here I'm getting some souls to refill my health to open this next barrier here. We're gonna be using the warp gate later. Coming up shortly here, I have a little kind of movement technique. It's basically a jump extend. It's called a glide cancel. That lets me get across there. There's a kind of a glide tutorial I skipped there. We have a forced battle here. Just gotta take these guys out really quick and then eat their souls. And now we can make our way out of the underworld, where we're introduced to the different realms, or planes, realms, that's what they're called, and where you start out in the spectral realm. You can warp between the spectral and the material realms, basically spiritual and physical. You can only interact with things in the material realm, but the spectral realm does change the world a little bit. Here we have another forced encounter, but I'm going to break their AI so that they stay still, and now I can just crush them with this box. Let's push. Oh, I messed up there. So here's me just crushing them. I let go of it early by locking onto them. And now we get... because there's cutscene skips in this run, there's not in the original. This is the only one I really get to echo. My god! The voice acting in this game is great, but again, unfortunately, we don't get to hear most of it. That guy almost got me. So here, I'm taking a small detour to get another warp gate. This will let us come back to her really quickly. We're gonna be doing a lot of save and quits, which brings Raziel back to the very start, so we can just do that and go through that warp gate. And now I have a bit of downtime, so if you have any announcements.
Sure thing. This is a very fun game so far. As for the question, who's your favorite vampire? Have Level Up Leo in chat telling me that the Count is the best vampire, and I have to say that is an excellent choice. In donation news, we have $28 from Game Time Podcast for 14 pssts. We also have $28 from the Pie Piper, 14 deaths for a great cause. And this is, of course, referring to that amazing psst run we just saw, donating $2 per death. So thank you very much for those donations.
Alright, I just missed with that, whoops. Okay, here we have a neat little mechanic that comes with the cutscene skips. You have to hold the button about 2 seconds to skip a cutscene, but not all cutscenes are 2 seconds long, or are long enough that 2 seconds saves times. So there, I saved up some of the time that I was pressing the button on a short cutscene to use on a longer cutscene. So that saved a tiny amount of time, but it's worth it.
An update on our incentives, if you're interested.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're still tied. $110.01 is very specific. Tie between the default and the fusion suit for the Metroid Prime randomizer suit bid war. So right now, it's still anyone's game. We could see any suit. We have no idea which one. And that is coming up quickly. Like, time flies when you're having fun. You might think you have lots of time to get your donations in, but it's going to come up faster than you think. Get ahead of it. Donate right now. If you have an opinion on which suit you want to see, get those donations in. !D in the chat. That's going to bring you to our donation page where you can put in your message. You can donate in any currency you want, and it's all going to go to a great cause.
Alright, so there was another little speech that I like in this just because of... Wow, camera please. Just because of how it cuts off, he just says, "My brother Mokat," and it kind of sounds like a sitcom. Anyways, I skipped that warp gate because I don't need it. It's the only one that's in the way, and here I have a proxy jump to do. Basically, I'm just going to push this block into myself. You'll see how shortly, and then that will cause Raziel to pop up, and he'll be higher than the ground, but still act like he's on the ground. And now we can get up here. That skips about a minute of gameplay. It also skips the little tutorial that tells you that the Spectral Realm changes the kind of structure of the environment so that you can get around. And now we're just going through, I kind of tried to get one of these guys to walk into the light there. I think I messed up my movement. Yeah, he didn't do it. But every once in a while you can hear him dying in the background as I'm running away. We're just gonna go down here really quick to operate a mechanism that lets us lower the platform. Just if you have anything else.
Yeah, sure thing. Let's talk about some of these prizes we have. We have 4 games that are up for grabs. Street Fighter 6, Resident Evil 4, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and Monster Hunter Wilds. So $5 donation will get you into the draw to win one of those 4 games. And those are all excellent games. You'd be very lucky and blessed to have any of those in your collection.
Alright, so with that mechanism enabled, we can go back up and use a switch that was right by the elevator. That'll lower this big platform in the middle. We're gonna lower it some more with several little puzzles. Basically, we're gonna move some blocks first to burn down some supports. That'll get the first layer to lower, and then, whoa, camera please. And then we'll move it some more to get the even more center platform lowered. I'm using the sneak button basically to start and stop Raziel's movement quickly because he has to kind of turn first before he can start running if you don't do that, and also when coming to a stop he kind of slides. So that basically lets me start moving and also interact with things from moving quicker. Also, moving the blocks forward and backward is faster than side to side, but here I'm going to be moving it to the side because I'd have to grab it twice to get it into position if I went for just forward and backward. But after this, we'll be on our way to the boss of this area, which is Milkai, as mentioned before. I turned my camera the wrong way. There we go. But basically, here we'll learn that Raziel was stuck in the Lake of the Dead for like 500 years or something, and so his brothers have evolved far beyond what he remembers them as. So here's the last block getting into position. Prime a little bit of cutscene skip here, and that, whoops, do not grab that ledge. And that'll let us get past this upcoming cutscene almost immediately. Oh, that was really fast. And here are how to kill this guy. We have to drop these spiked gates on top of him. He sometimes does not like to go where I want him to go, so I'm gonna stay close to him here to... Oh no. Okay, good. He did turn around. Sometimes he goes deep into that room. Anyways, he's gonna phase through this fence. We're gonna take that ability from him when we kill him, which will enable us to get to the next areas. Now that we dropped 2 fences on him, the mechanism is gonna activate so that we can drop a bigger thing of spikes on him in the middle here. Come on, buddy. Ooh, he was friendly today. How nice. That fight can go really wrong sometimes. Anyways, we're gonna skip all the quarry stuff there and save and quit back to Underworld. Have a bit of downtime here, so anything else?
Sure. If you're just tuning in, you are watching Game Over Cancer, and we're here all week raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society. They've been proudly supporting people affected by cancer in Canada for over 80 years by funding research, providing education and information, government advocacy, and offering support services. You can hit !D in the chat to donate. I'm also asking chat in the donations or in the Twitch chat who the best vampire is or who your favorite vampire is. Got 1 vote right now for the count. My favorite vampire is Colin Robinson. Now, whether or not he's the best vampire, that's probably up for debate. But you tell me, who's the best vampire?
Alright, so for this phase through the fences ability, I need to be in the spectral realm, but for, as I mentioned earlier, to mess with anything physical, I need to be in the material realm, so I kind of have to go back and forth a few times. Here, they give me a really nice pattern. Sometimes they can be behind each other, causing me have to aim those. There, I successfully overlapped the animation for shifting between the planes and the cutscene. That's a nice little time save. It's a very particular timing. You have to put the inputs to change the plane in, because if you do it just wrong, you're gonna attack instead of, whoops, instead of shifting blinds. There, I messed up because you need to be full health to shift back to the material realm, and I forgot that. Here is Kain, the guy who threw us into the Lake of the Dead. This fight, we just have to hit him 3 times. He has 3 points he can spawn in, and always spawns at the one furthest from us. And now, to get up there, you normally have to climb that little crumbled wall over there, but instead, what we're gonna do is try to climb it from this pillar here. This trick can take some time. Let's see, usually I get it like probably within 6 tries, but for now I'm gonna turn it over to you as I try to get this, because it'll take some time, probably.
Sounds good. So chat is very engaged on who the best vampire is. We've got Opera Morale saying that Laszlo / Jackie Daytona is definitely the favorite. So another What We Do in the Shadows fan, amazing. And Pie Piper, Energy Vampires. Malacard. Mal says Malacard is the best vampire. And then we have the vampire from Darkwatch. Cowboys and vampires are a perfect mix. So if you want to get in on this conversation, either in the donations or in Twitch chat, who's the best vampire?
Alright, I got up just in time for you to finish there. It took me about a minute. That's not bad. Not the best I've had, though, for sure. For reference, my record has that 2nd try, I think. And then there's another skip later that gets it, that I get first try in that, but that's also about just as hard as that one. Anyways, we're on our way through here. We skipped the, I mentioned that we need to climb that wall. It's a ability you get later on, from a different boss, I should say. So we skipped that ability, and now whoa, Raziel, what are you doing? Now we're coming up here. We're gonna skip this little area by just gliding through this hole. There's a cutscene in there that basically tells Raziel he used to be a vampire hunter before Kain turned him. Blah blah blah. Anyways, I turned my camera there so I'm facing this guy right away. And this is Morlock. He's not one of the lieutenants, but he does give us the ability of telekinesis, which we are gonna need for later. And another save and quit. We're going right back through the warp gate. In addition to skipping the ability climb, we're also going to skip the ability to swim, which is a pretty easy skip because all you need to do is a glide cancel. Well, there's a way to do it even without glide cancel, but a glide cancel makes it fast. Oh, come on, get through the door. Doors are sometimes hard in this game. So anyways, we're just gonna jump through here. Without the ability to swim, Raziel is still pretty vulnerable to water. So that jump right there, that is how we skip the ability to swim. Just did a simple glide cancel there. I'm gonna do another one coming up here. Okay, that should be good. Yep. That jump there is deceptively difficult because even if Raziel's toes get in the water, he kind of falls all the way in. Anyways, here we got another little climbable wall I need to skip, so I'm gonna come over here and get this warp gate before getting help to skip the climbable wall. Oh, I forgot something. I need to take a hit here. Thank you. Whoa, camera, what are you doing? That's a basically PlayStation 1 camera kind of thing you can expect. So basically, we're gonna take this guy. Why are you Or are you going that way? Okay. I need to turn him around here. Okay. We're gonna bring this guy over to where we need to get... Oh my god. Please move. Okay, there we go. Anyways, he's gonna be our little step ladder to jump over this wall to the right. And this is a trick I mentioned earlier that can also take some time. So I'm just gonna get this guy into the corner over here. Get in there. Okay, and then gotta wait for him to wake up, and then I'll try to jump on top of him and jump up there. Anyways, as I mentioned, this could take some time, so if you have anything else you want to add, go ahead.
Sure, thank you. So right now chat is trying very hard to make me laugh so that when you call on me to talk, I sound ridiculous and I'm laughing and can't get any words out, and they're doing very well at it. Jacko77 says that Dr. Acula is the best vampire.
That's a good choice.
Still have, yeah, right? We also still have our Metroid Prime randomizer suit bid war going on, and your donations to the Canadian Cancer Society are going to decide whether we see the default suit or the fusion suit. If you hit !D in the chat, it will bring you to our donation form. You can cast your vote, you can donate in any currency you want. It is all going to the Canadian Cancer Society. Also right now, we're still tied at $110.01 for this suit bid war. We have no idea who's going to win this, which suit we're going to see. Deadlocked.
That one took me a little bit longer, but as expected, that one, I think I had him positioned not quite right, so I kind of pushed him a little bit extra, and then here we have another, oh, get in there, another little hole we can just glide right through, and if you mentioned, if you noticed, there we go, that's the right word, I kind of got stuck there with the glide. You can basically stay gliding there forever. Here we've got another little puzzle. We're supposed to drain the water here and move the blocks so we can get up to the next little ledge, but you can just jump onto, whoa, jump onto those pipes there instead, like this. Gotta be careful not to fall in the water when you're doing it. I almost did there. And now we're on to a furnace that we need to activate here. So first we're gonna activate it to open some doors. Also gonna get a vampire who's just hanging out here dead. You can hear him die there. We're gonna prime it again for later use. Stop getting stuck on geometry. And it's coming up here. That skip I did entering the area, you're supposed to kind of basically go through a whole area, come through here, and push that block to get up there and go around. So we skipped that earlier, and we're gonna skip something here. Oh, that was not a glide cancel. So I need a glide cancel here. Oh, come on, Raziel, please. This is not a hard button combination to do, and I'm messing it up. There we go. So, the reason it's called the glide cancel is because it skips the little starting of the glide animation, and that's what gives us a little bit extra distance. Here we've got some more spectral realm platforming, because that changes the geometry, as I mentioned earlier. Gotta hit this switch to open a drawbridge down here to get through. And we have some more spectral realm platforming coming up, where we're just gonna switch back and forth between the spectral realm and the material realm quickly. It's I'm gonna try to do this without gliding between. Okay. every once in a while when you switch between the realms, you can start moving before you're supposed to, because Raziel just, for some reason, doesn't do the animation all the time, and that kind of tripped me up there. Anyways, dropping that basically broke down a fence so that we can get over to the boss chamber, who you'll notice is already kind of dead. But if we take out these stakes, except for this one, we're gonna just kind of stick that one right back in because why not? This will revive him. And this boss is kind of finicky too, like the first one. I gotta keep him within a certain distance of me, otherwise he'll do an attack where he stops and punches the ground, which wastes a bit of time. Why are you going so slow? Stop it. That's the worst opening I've had in a while. Anyways, I gotta drag him all the way back to the furnace room, where I'll activate that and get his power, which is... what's the name of it? Constrict. Which basically lets us run around in circle. Oh man, there's that attack. He got stuck on the wall. Oh no. That wasn't supposed to happen. Stop. Okay, so that's what I don't want to have happen. Not only did he stop, he also hit me. And if he hits me, he does his constrict attack, which he ran around me in a circle. He was trying to stun me. But basically, we can use that to operate switches later. Just gotta get through this little hallway here, and this is the furnace room. And now we have his ability. To get out of there without saving and quitting, you need the ability to climb, which I skipped, so that's why I grabbed the warp gate earlier. And now we have all the abilities we need to finish the game, so I'm gonna quickly make my way to the end. We have a few puzzles to go through, but for now we're just making our way to the final area, so if you have anything else you want to add.
Sure thing. So we have a $10 donation from Owlypop. No comment. Puts that donation towards our Day 7 whip-only incentive, and that is Day 7, 7 days from now. Super Castlevania 4, and upgrade any percent to whip-only. As for our current, our next bid war, or next incentive coming up, we have our Metroid Prime Randomizer Suit bid war, still tied. Default, Fusion, we still don't know. Metroid Master in chat says, Fusion! So I think we know where that opinion lies. If you want to get your donations in for this bid war or any of our other incentives, you can hit !I in the chat to see all of the incentives for the marathon. You can hit !D in the chat to go to our donations page. You can donate in any currency you want. It's all going to benefit the Canadian Cancer Society.
All right, something cute I wanted to mention earlier, but I forgot, was that vampire we used as a stepping stone earlier was still in the corner. That kind of reminds me of the Blair Witch Project, so just a little Blair Witch cameo there. Anyways, here we're doing a little block puzzle that's really annoying because sometimes they just don't want to move. Anyways, we have to get these two blocks into two specific little cubby holes to unlock the next door, which also involves opening and closing these side doors a lot. The two blocks are only on this side, but we have to have one on each side because the locks are one on each side. There's three cubby holes per side. One is like that, that's the lock, and the other two are two little black circles with colored symbols in them. Those are the ones that unlock the side doors. So first we're gonna get this one in position. And then we're gonna go back over and get the next one in position, and I'm gonna try another one of those overlapping the cutscene with the plane shift animation. But this one is a little riskier because it makes it so the doors don't open all the way. And if I have to go back to the spectral realm in a different area, the doors close and cannot open up back up. So these doors don't have a hitbox, but that door in the middle does. Anyways, we're gonna come up here. There's a fence here with the guy right behind it. Hopefully I position myself so that he doesn't hit me. And oh, the guy came from behind to hit me. Wow. That's a new one. So I need to get my health back up to full. To get back to the spectral or material realm. Got some more blocks to put in cubby holes here. That guy on the ground there had a spear in him. I'm gonna use that in a moment, but when I take it out of him, he's gonna revive just like Dumas earlier did. I forgot to mention his name. But I'm gonna use that spear to kill that one. And he woke up. He was facing me for some reason. That was not supposed to happen. Alright. Good to know that can happen, because I have not had that happen before with that strategy before. Come on, Razzie, I'll kill him. If I try to do that kill when I have just pressed the button to attack right before he can sometimes break out of it to do a regular attack. Here we're just turning some pillars so they all face the middle to open a big door right at the beginning of this area. Well, not at the beginning. Before we went through the wall that opened up when we went to the spectral realm. So since I didn't have to go back to the spectral realm, that door is still open. And we're gonna make our way, as I said, into the door that we opened. That's... Oof. There we go. Sorry. That's the Oracle's cave that we're entering, and the Oracle happens to be a character named Mobius who Kain told the Raziel about. He's basically a very conniving person.
The Oracle.
You don't get to see much of that in this game, but in all the other games, he's, well, I guess 3 of the other games, he's heavily featured. And he very much deserves the words that Kain gave him. This area is full of puzzles. Also, my camera is a puzzle, apparently. Oof. Where am I? Alright, so here I just have to turn all these little boxes so that the light that gets to the plaque at the end here is the same color as it. Which basically, all I need to do is turn the blocks each of the blocks once. This will open the next door, which, through that, I'm gonna grab another spear from a dead body, but that one should go better because I don't have to worry about him. I'm just gonna run past him and go through a door. But basically I'm gonna use that spear, hopefully throw it over an object blocking a guy in this next room. So I need to just very carefully change my aim there. Didn't quite go high enough. Oh well. So if I got him there, that would have saved a small amount of time there because I wouldn't need to kill him with the Reaver. Now we have to match up the hands on the clock right below us to the symbols on the wall here. It's always a set thing. You gotta do 2 clockwise on the blue and 3 counterclockwise on the red and 1 counterclockwise on the yellow. Pretty easy to remember. Here I'm going to do a spike jump. It's pretty easy. Let me try it first without killing that guy. Ooh, that was really fast. So for that, I do a high jump and then move right at the top so that I land on the spikes. Oh, why did you dodge? Whoa, the block fell. A lot of weird stuff happened there. Some of those guys like to dodge a lot. So sometimes they just are absolutely a pain in the butt. But anyways, this little puzzle here, we just have to match up the symbols on the top of these boxes to the floor below it. Yo, hit the box. Thank you. I messed up. I was supposed to flip it when I pushed it. Okay, I'm just gonna grab it because things are messing up right now.
Tex, you are doing absolutely amazing at this run. I just want to remind people that not only are your donations benefiting the Canadian Cancer Society, but you can also use this to win prizes. We have 4 games that we are giving away. So if you make a $5 donation, that gets you into the draw to get any of those 4 games. Monster Hunter Wilds, we have Street Fighter. You can hit P in the chat to see the prizes.
Alright, sorry about that. I kind of got tripped up by that puzzle quite a bit because I messed up my movement. But that took a bit of thinking power to adjust. Anyways, here I just gotta turn these things in the middle so that the symbols match in the hallway we just came through. They're always the same, so I didn't bother to look at them. But if I do this next part right, these are all gonna activate some pendulums. I can make a fast cycle. Just barely. I'm gonna need to slow down. Oh, I missed it. I slowed down too much. But basically, I was supposed to grab that one as it was going up there. Didn't quite get it though. So that's an extra cycle. Not a big deal. Whoops. I pressed the wrong button there. Anyways, this is the last little puzzle. And in this next area we have a lot of exposition, which basically is telling Raziel that everything's predetermined because there's a lot of visions of the future coming up here. Visions of the past, I should say, because that's things Raziel already experienced, and then the future. But most of the visions of the future are cut content because this game was very ambitious. And unfortunately they weren't able to put everything they wanted into it. Some of the cut content was added into later sequels, some of it was changed very drastically. But there's a lot to go through here, so if you have anything else before we get to the final boss, you have some time.
Sure, thank you. Our incentive for the Metroid Prime Randomizer Suit Bid War is still tied. Your donations towards that incentive goes towards deciding whether we see the default suit or the fusion suit, and we do not have a lot of time left. As Tex just said, this run is almost done, and then we only have one more run, and that's going to go by quick. So get those donations in, cast your vote. Are we going to see the default suit? Or are we going to see the fusion suit?
Alright, so we got through here fast. I think we got through here fast. How about y'all? aside, we'll see how Kain thinks about it in a moment. I'm gonna let this cutscene just play just a little bit because the voice here is great.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me.
Aw, he's disappointed. Can never be better for him. Anyways, this is just like the first Kain fight, but there's levels. Have to hit him 3 times. He always appears the side furthest from Razio. I almost missed him there. So time is coming up on the last hit here. See if I can get it fast. Oh, and time. And that's the run.
GG's, great job, Tex. Thank you for this great run, showing off this beautiful remaster.
Or how?
Tell us, where can we find you?
You can find me as EODTex on both Twitch and YouTube. I do have a profile on Blue Sky that I really kind of don't use all that much, but I try to. If you want to get involved in this game, there's a Discord you can get to on speedrun.com, the leaderboard for this, and it links. It's the Discord for the whole series fan group, not just speedruns, not just this game.
Thank you so much. I just want to say a thank you and for this run and a welcome to these raiders. We say hello all kick cancers, $, and I have to agree. Let's do that. Thank you again for your run. This was fantastic.
Alright, thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of the runs.